Well, welcome back to the last segment this Sunday. I am Randy Thompson. I am one of the partners at Kerrigan, Estes, Rankin, McLeod, and Thompson. I'm 60 years old, and I'm the youngest partner. Mr. Kerrigan and Mr. McLeod love it when I point that out over and over again. I have been with this firm for more than 25 years. We have paralegals, legal assistants, office managers, accountants who have been with the firm longer than I have. This firm focuses on one area of the law: injuries received by the fault, caused by the fault of someone else. That's all we do. We represent people who get injured because of the fault of someone else. And we don't even do all of those type cases. For example, workers' compensation. That's an example where someone gets injured on the job. Maybe it's because of somebody's fault, or maybe it just happened while they're on the job. But that area of workers' compensation claims, our firm does not handle because that's just not what we've chosen to focus on. We focus on personal injury claims caused by the fault of someone else outside of the workplace. Because that's what we focus on, and because of the longevity of the staff members and the attorneys at this law firm, it's not a stretch of the imagination for me to say we know what we're doing. We've done this a long time, and we know how to help people. And we know how wrecks and collisions and other events that hurt you affect you on a long-term basis. So I want to use this last segment of today's show to talk to you kind of about the basic anatomy of a car accident case. So let's assume that you are driving in your truck or car, and you come to a stop at a stoplight, and you look in your rearview mirror, and you're thinking, that car is not stopping. That car is not stopping. And in your rearview mirror, you can see that the young man driving the car is looking down at his phone. You can tell he's not paying attention to the road. And sure enough, he plows right into the back of your car and knocks you silly. What happens? What is the basic anatomy that goes forward from there? Well, number one, hopefully you can get out of your vehicle safely, and hopefully you're able to move. And let's assume that the only thing you feel right now is a lot of anger and a lot of bitterness, but your neck is also hurting a little bit. So you get out of the car, you look at the damage that's caused by the young man's inattention to driving, and you have words. Hopefully they're kind words. Hopefully they're not yelling and screaming words, because that doesn't do anything to help. But you get out of the car, you have the conversation. He says, "I'm so sorry. I was looking down. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry." Well, what happens from there? Under Florida law, if you decide within the next 14 days to seek medical care and treatment because now your neck pain is really hurting and now your low back is starting to hurt, but you've had a problem with your low back for years, but this accident has really set it off and it's really inflamed. Within that first 14 days, if you have that kind of sensation and you go to your primary care doctor or any doctor of your choosing, your car insurance is going to pay at least 80% of the medical bills and 60% of any lost wages you might have. We'll talk about that maybe in a minute, or maybe I'll run out of time. But generally speaking, your car insurance has to pay the first $10,000 of either your medical expenses or lost wages combined. So 8 in medical, 2 in lost wages, caused by the accident. That's called Florida no-fault law. Well, why is that the law? That's the law because the insurance companies wanted it that way. They convinced our legislators years and years ago to pass this law. So sure enough, Florida legislature passes a law called no-fault law. Why do the insurance companies want something like that? I think because it helps them save money. If you are sitting there at the red light, minding your own business, and you don't do anything wrong, and this young man plows into the back of you, if you think his insurance company is going to pay for your medical care and treatment, you might go sooner. You might go more often. But if you think, well, wait a minute, my insurance may go up in their rates, or they may cancel me. I don't want to go seek. I believe that's one of the reasons the insurance companies wanted that law that way, because it saved them money. But for whatever reason, the insurance companies, all of them, USAA, Aetna, Geico, Allstate, all of them wanted to pass this no-fault law, and it got passed. So if you're in the state of Florida and you're a Florida resident and you get injured by an automobile, it's your car insurance that pays the first $10,000 of your medical expenses and or lost wages. And I mean, if you're walking down the road and a car hits you, you're not even in your car. It's still your car insurance that pays the first 10 of your medical bills. But back to the example. You're in your truck, you're sitting still at the red light, you see the young man, he's looking down at his phone, he plows into the back of your car. You go get medical treatment, it's your insurance that pays for it. Well, who's going to pay for the property damage? Who's going to pay to fix my vehicle? His insurance. The at-fault insurance company in the state of Florida has to pay to fix your vehicle. Well, what does that mean? Well, if it's repairable, they have to pay for the repairs of the vehicle, and they don't have to put you in a rental car, but they have to give you a reasonable rental reimbursement rate while your car is in the shop being worked on. Now, a lot of these insurance companies have deals with the rental car companies, and so they will put you into a rental car. But under Florida law, they can say, nope, you got to go out and get it on your own. You use your credit card, you put it on your stuff, and we'll give you a reasonable reimbursement rate. So, what if your car is totaled? A lot of people think, well, then I get a new car. That's not true. In the state of Florida, if because of his inattentiveness, he plows into the back of your truck and he totals out your truck, then the insurance company, the at-fault insurance company, owes you the fair market value of your truck 1 minute before it got hit, right? So if your truck, right before it got hit, was sitting on a car lot for sale in Pensacola, Florida, or Panama City, or wherever you live, if it was sitting on a car lot, what would it sell for? Not what the asking price is, not what, but what's the fair market value of the vehicle? And that's what you're entitled to, period. What if you owe more on the truck than it's worth? You're upside down in the truck. That can happen. And under Florida law, the at-fault insurance company only owes you the fair market value of the vehicle. That's it, nothing more. Okay? So that's the property damage aspect of the collision. Well, what if your injuries from this accident continue to bother you? And what if you are continuing to have to seek additional care and treatment? Let's say your primary care doctor says, well, I want to get an MRI on your neck. And they get an MRI on your neck and they find out that you've got a herniated disc in your neck. And so now your primary care physician wants to send you to a neurosurgeon to have you examined to see if maybe you're going to have a surgery. Well, you don't want a surgery. So maybe you get referred out to the specialist. Maybe you start getting injections in your neck. That either helps or doesn't help. Then maybe there comes the option of surgery. And you have to make all of these decisions. Well, who's responsible for that? It depends. It depends on what kind of insurance the young man not paying attention has. You can legally drive in the state of Florida and not have any bodily injury liability coverage. That's the coverage that he should have if he is liable for causing bodily injury to you. But you can legally drive in the state of Florida and not have any bodily injury liability coverage, which is why we always tell our clients it is so important for you to have uninsured motorist coverage. That's the coverage you purchase on your insurance so that in case an uninsured driver hits you and injures you, you've got a pocket of money to reach toward to help compensate you for all of the unpaid medical expenses, all of the unpaid lost wages, all of the future medical expenses that you might have if you don't have health insurance. So uninsured motorist coverage, you need it in the state of Florida. It is a really important piece of coverage to have. It follows you and your family wherever you go. So you could be in somebody else's car and get hit, and your uninsured motorist coverage follows you. You could be walking down the street and your uninsured motorist coverage goes with you. So uninsured motorist coverage is really important to have. And then finally, some people say, well, you mean so he just gets off scot-free? He just walks away? He doesn't? Yeah, in the state of Florida, absent some other compelling circumstance, he's not going to go to jail. They're not going to arrest him for that. And, well, can't you sue him and collect the money from him? Well, you could find an attorney maybe to file a lawsuit and sue the individual, and you'd get a judgment. The jury would award you money, but then you'd never be able to collect on it. And so you can't sue him and you can't get a judgment against him. You could. Finding a lawyer to do that would be difficult because the lawyer would know he or she isn't going to get paid, because we only get compensated if we make a financial recovery for you. So folks, that's the basic anatomy of a car accident. As I see it, there's a lot of different details and every case is different. I'd be glad to talk to you about it. Call our office, text our office, 850-444-4444, or email me. My email is randy.thompson@kerrigan.com. We appreciate all the feedback, and we'll be back next Sunday. Y'all have a good day.